say what needs to be said. Well, we say what needs to be said so you can say what needs to be said. Welcome back to the show. It's your big dog, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Sammy. We're in the building tonight. Saturday night vibes. How y'all doing tonight, baby? Some good games going on. College football, man. College football is very interesting. The number one team in college football was knocked off by Georgia. That's wild. Georgia, what are they, up and down team? They got spanked by Alabama. What does that say about the University of Texas football team? But we're gonna talk about the Colorado versus Arizona football game. We're gonna talk about Alabama versus Tennessee. And you know, I gotta start giving some advice. I gotta start giving some advice. You know what I mean? You know, when you go through so many situations in life, so many different experiences, that's how you develop wisdom and knowledge, man. And I got so much wisdom and knowledge I'm just holding on to. And I think it's only right that I spread that wisdom and knowledge, being that I've been through so many experiences and situations. And yeah, it's a lifelong. But if y'all didn't hear the news and breaking news, man. Oh man. We're gonna talk about that. This is Antonio Brown speaking at the Donald Trump rally. This is wild. We definitely gonna get into that. But say what needs to be said. Well, we say what needs to be said so you can say what needs to be said. Saturday night vibes, baby. Y'all like, share, comment, turn on your notifications, baby. When you come to say what needs to be said, you know we got that energy and we feeling good. We got great things to talk about, man. And first off, Alabama versus Tennessee, man. These were two teams flying around today on defense. And you know, we see most games, most defensive games, they end up being boring and not exciting football game. But this was an exciting defensive game. Each defense made the opposing offense work hard for every single yard. Talking about Tennessee versus Alabama. Two really good future NFL prospect quarterbacks going head to head. And uh Imala, I'm just gonna say Nico. Nico, I don't want to mess up his name today. So Nico and Jalen Milroe, man. Nico and Jalen Milroe going head to head, man. And it wasn't that type of game where it's bad quarterbacks playing bad football on offense. No, that's what you usually see when you have a good defensive game. You see bad offensive football, and that ends up just typically being a good defensive game. But that wasn't the case in this game. Nico and Jalen Milroe are two really solid NFL future prospects, especially that kid Nico. Admitted with I don't want to mess up the man name, but yeah, man, really good prospects. And this was a defensive game, like I said. But Nico, he missed a few open passes, you know, that he will learn and get better from. And maybe that was a result of him having to deal with the Alabama pressure and him being a freshman. You know what I mean? He is a freshman, so we got to cut him some slack. But the whole point about this is Tennessee has a big time prospect, man. And Nico, that young man, is 6'6", 215 pounds. And he has all the tools and attributes it takes and it needs to take Tennessee to be a number one team. And he's going to be a number one prospect in the future, man. His best attributes is being able to roll out to the left and being able to roll out to the right and being able to throw the ball either way he's rolling out. And you know, when you, as a quarterback, you when you roll out to the left and you have to and you right hand, you have to throw the ball across your body. That's one of the hardest throws that a quarterback has to make. And a lot of quarterbacks can't do that. And his head coach, Josh Heupel, he would do a good job continuing to develop Nico, man, because Josh Heupel has experience in the history of developing quarterbacks. So I'm excited about Nico, man. I'm excited about him. But he started off shaky. He started off the game shaky, throwing back-to-back interceptions. But that's what makes this game so oppressive for me to him, because he started off so shaky, a freshman going against, the Alabama Crimson Tide. And he bounced back and led that team to victory. He threw one deep ball on the run, man, to Dante Thornton Jr., and it was so pretty. It looked like an NFL throw. It was an NFL throw. And in the second half, Tennessee came out. We started to see Nico he started to settle in and warm up. Now they're starting to put points on the board. He started to fire and hit, make more plays with his legs and his arm. Nico was out there doing his thing. Now, Alabama had a few chances. Alabama had a few chances to win this game, but they failed because they didn't execute. And I think it was the right decision for Alabama to go for it in the fourth quarter with like 2 minutes left or under 2 minutes, around that time, when it was like 4th and 22 in the fourth quarter. But it was the right decision to go for it, but the call was so suspect. They were so suspect. You're gonna run a screenplay when it's 4th down and 22 when the defense is all the way 20 yards back already. Everybody's gonna rally and tackle. Screens only work against the blitz. On that type of play, you have to give your best talent, your best playmakers a chance to make a play. Throw the ball up, create some type of play where, or you should already have a play created where your number one receiver is going to be one-on-one with somebody and give them a chance to make a play. And that's the predicament you need to put your team in. And Alabama was not ready for that situation. You understand what I'm saying? They had to rely on the screen. And man, let me tell you, this is what you're not used to seeing. You're not used to seeing Alabama run defense as horrible as it is right now. And that's another reason they had to go for it on 4th and 22, because the run defense for Alabama is so horrible right now. So they had to deal with a scenario. You punt it and let them just run the ball down the throat, or we try to go for it and, hopefully we get a little lucky. But a screenplay in that scenario, man, that's a very low percentage of success rate right there, running a screen when it's 4th and 22 and the defense is all the way back. You know what I mean? Milroe's in the building. What it do, T-Dub? Now, the difference is after Nick Saban's gone for 1 year. Now, Nick Saban say he ain't dealing with paying no college football players no NIL money, and he hit it on Alabama. And after he hit it, this run defense isn't the same anymore. They aren't producing like they did when Saban was there. Saban always had 8 to 10 dogs, it seemed like, 8 to 10 monsters ready to go on the defensive line. You know what I mean? There was no way he was running on Nick Saban defense. He provided the discipline and the players and the coaching to make sure that wouldn't happen, because he understands the philosophy of winning football games is stopping the run and being able to run the ball. I don't even think the freaking Alabama rushing defense is ranked in the top 50 right now in college football. That's horrible. That's horrible for college football. But in Tennessee, man, I'm impressed with the Tennessee secondary, man. How they contested and battled with the Alabama receivers all night long. And they was battling with that talented freshman receiver from Alabama, Ryan Williams. Yeah, they were doing their thing. Got to always shout out to the secondary. That was a good secondary play on both sides of the ball right there. Alabama has a terrible run defense, but they can play pass. They can defend the pass. And that first interception by Jamar McCoy, man, he played that so perfectly. Jamar McCoy. He one-hand stabbed the receiver, Ryan Williams. He took control of the receiver, put himself in the perfect position to intercept the ball at the highest point. Stabbed him, rerouted him, kept a vision on the quarterback when he got the ball at the highest point. McCoy had a really good game today. He had a really good game. And this was his first interception of the season. But I can see that that young man has a lot of talent, man. If y'all don't know who Jamar McCoy is, man, y'all go check him out. He big, he got good speed, and he showed he can play tonight against some very talented group of receivers over there at Alabama. And he had a good game. He will be a top NFL prospect next year for sure, if he didn't redshirt and end up coming out this year or whatever. Um, and that brings me to another thing about Nick Saban leaving. On that interception, what we were just talking about with McCoy, Ryan Williams' route seemed like he wasn't putting much effort into that route. Definitely wasn't 100%, and Nick Saban would not be having that. And that's the difference I could see in this team from last year when Nick Saban was there and compared to this year. Your team must have discipline. You got to have discipline, and your players got to have a fear of not executing and doing their job, or they will be benched. If they don't, they're going to do whatever they want. The Dallas Cowboys, you see that, man? Troy Aikman finally calling out the receivers and things like that. CeeDee Lamb, crying for the ball, but his effort on every route is horrible. He's not doing what he needs to do to get open and man-to-man, getting jammed up and D'd up and all type of stuff. Now, after the other cornerback from Tennessee, Ricky Gibson, gave up that first fade route for a touchdown, right? The second time, Alabama seen him down there. They tried to throw up a fade again on him. And he got away with a big-time pass interference, and it was almost an interception. He got beat at the line of scrimmage. His feet, feet not in the right place, got beat at the line of scrimmage, and he had to grab Ryan Williams, and he pulled himself back into the position to make the play on the ball, but still dropped it. And ref missed that call. Gibson got really lucky on that play. That would have been another pass interference all the way along with the touchdown already, and it would have been first down and goal. But the Tennessee secondary ultimately did what they had to do and won the game. They ended the game. Who was that? Number 32 ended the game with the last interception. Bad throw by Jalen Milroe. And Tennessee, man, looked like a really good team, man. Tennessee looks like a really good team. What y'all got to say about Tennessee versus Alabama? You think Bama gonna even make the college football playoffs this year? No, man. T Dubs asks, do I think Alabama going to make the playoffs this year? Nope, not after the night. Absolutely not after the night. My top 5 Heisman picks. All right, I'll get into that at the end. Yes, sir. Got to get them get that DB analysis, man. I'm a DB. It'd only be right, man, if I it wouldn't be right if I didn't shout out to the DB, shout out to DBs ones I see balling doing their thing out there. But yeah. Now the most viewed team in college football, right? Colorado versus Arizona. Y'all talk to me. What kind of questions y'all got for that game, and what y'all thought about it before I get into it? And you got to clap it up, man. They did their thing, man. They did their thing. Now this is only Coach Prime's second season, but he has catapulted this Colorado football program to places they aren't used to being before or never seen. And they are the nation's most viewed college football team. They have been for the past 2 seasons. This team has finally won 5 games, right? They're 5-2 now. 5-2. The last time they won 5 games was 5 years ago. So they're 5-2. Now, this is their first season in the Big 12 Conference, and it's a good possibility they could end up being the conference champions. It's a good possibility. Now, Kansas State would definitely be the biggest opposition in that quest, right, for the Big 12 championship. And we understand it's time it takes effect and it helps us in life. And we understand that University of Texas isn't there no more. They're the ones that won the Big 12 championship, along with some other teams, a few other heavy hitters that ain't there anymore. Oklahoma, shit, they ain't nothing. Colorado probably keep them in there. We'll tear them up. You got TCU going and a few other teams. So time, like I say, timing. This is great timing for Coach Prime. This is great time for Coach Prime to be in the Big 12 and win this conference. But he got to strike fast. He has to strike fast. But I don't know, you know, how good Colorado really is, and if they are able to hold up against the other top programs in the nation. You know, the Tennessees, the Alabama, the Georgias. I think they could do all right. I think they're lacking one category, and that would be the downfall. That's the run defense, and maybe the offensive line. You know, maybe it give up too much pressure. But if they could land some big defensive linemen, recruits in the portal, or some 5-star recruits, they would be a top 10 program next year if they could replace Shedeur. That's the X factor for next year. Shedeur is very experienced. He's been in college for a while, been two different schools. He's been around the Tom Brady's. He's been groomed very well. What do you do with the next quarterback? How is Coach Prime and their relationship going to be? That's the question. If he can handle that, man, they're going in the right direction. And that's the thing. He playing in the Big 12, but Coach Prime is recruiting kids from Florida that ain't used to coming to Colorado. They have great athletes. That was a big mismatch tonight against Arizona. I didn't see Arizona having the type of athletes to compete with Colorado. Every time they broke left and right, the speed was phenomenal, looking uh, uh, looking phenomenal against Arizona because they barely could catch them or keep up with them. And yeah, so we have to wait and see how it goes for next year. But you know, Coach Prime, I'm sure he have something up his sleeve. He have something up his sleeve. And yeah, like I say, I'm a hard critic, so we got to give credit when credit is due. So let's clap it up for Coach Prime and the coaching staff. They did a hell of a job tonight. Clapping it up. Coach Prime and the coaching staff. That win goes to everybody, man. The coaching staff did a hell of a job, man. They did a great job against Arizona today, right? And the offensive coordinator called a good game. You know, he had a good run balance attack, and they prepared well. The defense competed all day, holding Arizona to 7 points that they end up having in the game. And most of the special team coaches, kicks and all that return, they had that ready, right? Arizona tried to start off with an onside kick. But guess what? The special team coach had his team ready. They recovered that thing like it's nothing. No trick plays, nothing to surprise us. Stay alert. Everybody was ready. And that onside kick, let me tell you, if that onside kick doesn't land in Colorado hands, man, this game can be a can could have gone in a total different direction. That this game could have resulted in in a different win and loss, because that's a big momentum change right there. You understand? The momentum change is what it's about for football. But Colorado looks like they're becoming a more and more disciplined team. Like they're buying in. They love the coaches. They love what the coaches are preaching and what they're presenting to them. You understand? And this is a result of the coaching staff. That's what this all is about. Got to give the credit when credit is due. The coaching staff is doing their thing. Now, the first series for Colorado would have determined the outcome of this game if Shedeur doesn't beat Shedeur on third down and long in that first series. After taking a sack, having a negative run, it was like third down and 30 or something, third down and very long. Shedeur Sanders delivered a beautiful pass for 46 yards to LeJounte Wester. That play set the tempo for the game, and they ultimately scored right after that. Now, if he doesn't complete that pass and execute for his team to score on that series, man, you got to understand the momentum. We feeling like, oh, this ain't nothing but the old Colorado. We don't believe no more. But boom, when we strike, we believe. We believe in each other, you know? Like I said, Colorado was clearly the most talented team out there. They just can't build a team. When I think about Colorado's identity, I think about what do they do well? Who are they, right? And they're a team full of athletes. They have great athletes at skills position, you know? But You can't just build a team off skill position. And Colorado is desperate for some 5-star defensive linemen. And don't take no credit away from the defensive line today. They did a hell of a job. Even though, like I say, the talent, whatever, but they did a hell of a job. And they was getting pressure on the quarterback. And they did their thing, man. That was impressive tonight. And, that was impressive. Got to give a shout out to pretty much the whole team, man. Everybody did good. And Arizona can't really act like they a slapdick team, but hey, Colorado did their thing. Now here's the big question. We talked about this before, right? And y'all got to talk to me on this one, chat, because I did a video about this about Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter previously. Now, this is the second game. If y'all remember, Travis Hunter got hurt last game against Kansas State. Now, Kansas State. This is the second game without Travis Hunter not being a big factor in the offense. And Shedeur Sanders' performance today, he continues to show how prolific he can be in his second game with the limited Travis Hunter. Now, we know Travis Hunter was hurt and things like that. He was limited and, he's not his full self. But I really do believe, now y'all talk to me in the chat, I really do believe Shiloh is a better quarterback when he doesn't have Travis out there focusing on getting Travis Hunter the ball. And Shedeur uses his football IQ instead of focusing on primarily one target, right? I think he automatically becomes a better quarterback when he is forced to use his football IQ, because I think he has one of the best football IQs as any quarterback out there. You know what I mean? In my opinion, if the coaches are evaluating the tape, how I'm evaluating the tape, 100 days may be numbered, or his time may be cut back as a receiver. Because when they realize the passing game, they do the analytics on the overall offense, how it has been doing and executing, it's going to be clear as day. Man, y'all talk to me in the chat and tell me what y'all think. Don't say it just because the names are big and all this and that. You have to look at the facts. How well is Shedeur playing when Travis Hunter is limited, or he's not, a big factor in the offense? He's not in the game plan. Like I said, I'm not saying Travis Hunter shouldn't be playing receiver anymore. I'm saying he needs to be used in certain offensive packages, and not just being used as an every down receiver. Yes, he has the stamina, the endurance to do it. He's done it well, and he's proven that to everybody. But this is about team and winning. And when you evaluate how you're winning and it's clear into your face and, it's clear as day, you have to accept the truth. That's just the way it is. And the truth is, if he is playing defense as much as he doesn't have the same energy, or he is not as fresh as other receivers that are resting while he's playing defense. So when it's time for them to go on offense, they are ready to go. They're hyped, they geeked up, they're fresh, and they're ready to run full speed. It's only human nature that Travis Hunter has to feel like, okay, maybe I can't give that much effort on this play. I need to reserve myself. And the other receivers, they're not. If it's 4 or 5 talented receivers, iron sharpen iron, they're ready to go. They want the ball. They want to shine just like everybody else. You know what I mean? And for Shedeur, I think it's time to start hearing some Shedeur Sanders Heisman talk. I really do think that. Especially the more he continues to win. Or is it too late? Is it too late for him to win the Heisman? Does that work like that? It's game 7. I mean, they're 5-2. I mean, you look at the Heisman candidates that's on the list. Like you said, we're talking about who are my top 5, but we could talk about who's on the list right now. You talk about all the quarterbacks that are up for the award, and Shedeur does more for his team than most of the quarterbacks on there, in my opinion. I don't see it's about 4 quarterbacks on there, and maybe one quarterback I would take over Shedeur. I'm going to take Shedeur over Dylan Gabriel from Oregon. He may have a one-up on Shedeur because they're undefeated. Oregon Ducks, they're undefeated. But let's see how long that lasts. Then you got Jalen Milroe, quarterback from Alabama, who we just talked about. They just lost to Tennessee, which Tennessee is a good team, but he's not better than Shedeur Sanders. Then you got the kid from Clemson, Klubnik, right? The Clemson quarterback. He isn't better than Shedeur. Only one that may stand out and, on paper, however you chop it up, he has Shedeur beat is Cam Ward. Cam Ward has more yards. Cam Ward has more touchdowns, and his team is 6-0. But other than that, Shedeur Sanders should be in that race. He edges a lot of these receivers. I mean, quarterbacks in the Dylan Gabriel, Cam Ward, and Shedeur Sanders are all our top 5 passing leaders in college football right now. Like I said, with Cam having 20 touchdown passing, and Shedeur Sanders has 17 touchdown passes on the season. You know what I mean? So Shedeur Sanders definitely needs to start being in the race, the Heisman Trophy candidate race. And I expect him to continue to do well this season, especially being in the Big 12, like I said, about timing. So, yeah. Shedeur, yeah, he's clearly the best quarterback in football right now. I don't think I can't really, I mean, yeah, it would be hard to say someone is better than him. Who's better than Shedeur? Is Cam Ward? What you say, T-Dub? What do y'all say, chat? Is Cam Ward a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders? Honestly. Now, I don't really believe the Hurricanes is that good of a team, right? Probably the same caliber as Colorado State. If they have to play those tough teams, I don't know if they stand up. But that's just us looking from the couch. If they get out there and they handle their business, they go mano y mano. If they could hand up, if they could hold up in those trenches, I ain't no doubt in my mind the talent at receiver and quarterback going to excel. Shedeur Sanders is going to excel. Them young talented receivers, man. Wester, you got Horn. Man, he's a plethora of receivers over there. And then, but hey, I got to wait. Y'all check this out. We got to hear this real quick. Will you take Shedeur over Dak Prescott? 100%. Man, Dak Prescott, you got to understand the mentality of a winner. Dak Prescott just got paid. He over there knocking down his $3 million house to build this $1 trillion house in the middle of all this chaos in his team. Him being the vocal and the primary leader of the team, he has all this happiness going on outside of football. I didn't see that with the greats, Tom Brady. He doesn't, if he loses, football bothers him to his core. He might not want to go outside and eat. He might want to live in the facilities. So, yes, I'll take a lot of people over Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott doesn't have that heart, that mentality of a champion. You know what I mean? It's a mentality you have to have. It ain't something you can be taught. It ain't, you know what I mean? It's something that has to be within your blood, within you. When the game is on the line, I want to deliver. Put the pressure on me, coach. You gotta want to feel that. And I don't see that in Dak's body language. But yeah, Shedeur Sanders. Actually, I was gonna say Colorado remind me of the Dallas Cowboys, the same type of dynamic, same team, but I have to take that back. I can't put them in the same category right now because they're playing with more discipline. They seem more hungry. And Dallas Cowboys, man, that's just what are they? That's a show me team. Show me team, and with a bunch of people, bunch of players that want to be famous, that have no awareness of how to win and be a winning team. You know what I mean? But yeah, I have to play this, man. If y'all don't know what I'm about to play, let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all a little. I don't know if y'all can see. This is our boy Antonio Brown today speaking at the Donald Trump rally. This is real life, y'all. That's the caption. This is real life. Can't believe this. Donald Trump is desperate. This desperate He wants Antonio Brown because he has millions of followers and he's famous and he's a football player and he's advocating for Donald Trump to come speak for him. And this is who y'all want to vote for? Let's listen to this. This is my first time here and I ain't heard this live reaction with y'all.
Before I get too deep in my speech, I want to say I know the media is going to call me crazy, me and Trump crazy for having me speaking here, but I want to make this clear. We are not. They are. You know, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, you really know they want to put tampons in the boys' bathroom? Is that crazy? That's really insane, right? And by the way, tampon Tim Walz, he isn't a real football coach. He could never guard me. Guys, how is business? Business will be booming going against Tim Watts. Tampon Tim Watts. It'd be really booming going against him. Now back
Wow.
before I get too deep.
So that's Antonio Brown. That's Mr. AB, the iconic AB. And that's the thing, man. This stuff kind of get me going, and I'm not into politics. I'm just about human nature. And that's what it seemed like. All the people that want to vote for Trump and be down with Trump, they just want to attack people, say negative things, spread hate. Like, is that what life is about? That's what they want to do as a president. No, man, life isn't about that, man. We trying to, get rid of the hate and make each other better. And that brings me to the next situation we got to talk about. But yeah, that's crazy. That yeah, T Dub say, man, AB be tap dancing for them folks. That is crazy. Like, we'll sell our soul for some fame and notoriety, and we'll, like you say, we'll tap dance for them folks. We'll say yes sir. We'll let them treat us how they want to treat us to get what we want, or to be around them. And that is nasty, man. That is disgusting. Your kids grow up and become adults, and then they see who you are. They look at you different. They probably don't have the type of respect for you that you think they do when they see how much of a clown you are. And for him to want to attack Kamala Harris, man, a black woman out here trying to do a thing, we all had a black woman. That's just crazy. You know what I mean? Sorry to the other viewers who ain't black, but that's just wild to me, man. That's just wild to me, man. That's just wild. But like I say, man, got a lot of wisdom, man. Been through a lot of experiences in life, right? And I hear nowadays that the biggest trouble and issue with society is people don't understand how to find them a significant other in a relationship and be in a relationship. So I'm gonna give some relationship advice. You know what I mean? And like I say, I see it's hard today to find a woman for us men, and especially a woman that we can trust, us men, and vice versa. And hopefully that one day we marry each other and marry that woman or man, like I'm talking about. Um, Relationships is something I'm very experienced in. I've, having numerous relationships since starting in seventh grade. Started, I've jumped off the porch early, y'all. I've started since seventh grade. Don't ask me why, don't ask me how. That's just how went back then. And I had my first child at the age of 18. But my baby mama was pregnant at 17. We were both 17 years old. And after that relationship ended, then I had two more children from another short-term relationship that I met in college. And I got food. She tricked me and was cooking and doing all this good stuff, then flipped the script and turned into a crazy lady on me. So, no, I'm not going to stick around. I'm not going to settle. I got to be happy. So, boom, moved on. Now, I have three children with my wife, right? I've been married 12 years, and I've been friends with my wife for 19 years, almost 20 years. And so what do you do when you're looking for a relationship? What are the things? What do you go by? And you first have to ask yourself, whether you're the man or the woman, what are you looking for exactly? You know, If you want an open relationship, you have to express that. If you know, you just have to be honest with yourself. And me, I look for a woman that could identify as close to my mother as possible. You know, have the same characteristics as close as I can get to my mom, and treat me as close to my mom treated me, because that was very important to me. Now, of course, um, we 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 want to be attracted to that person, or we have to be attracted with that person. So, uh, the I wanted the person, or that lady, that woman, to have the same characteristics as my mom, understood how my mom treated me, and of course, I had to be attracted to that woman, right? And also, of course, good with the kids and so on and so forth. Got to be great with the kids. That's not even debatable. Like, if you can't be good with any kids, there is not even a chance that we can, you know, keep dealing. You know, we can might meet up for drinks, and that's about it. But me leading the family was never, me being a leader of a family is never a problem, nothing I ever was worried about. I just needed that person that can hold it down with me. And my journey started off early, like I say, seventh grade and all that stuff. Now, we're gonna get to, you know, the pros and the cons and how we supposed to handle this. But every woman, let me tell you, every woman, I seen every woman, I don't care how tough, how rough and tough you think a woman thinks she is. Every woman loves a man that can be a good leader. But you got to understand what a good leader is. Every woman loves a man that can be a good leader, no matter how tough she is, like I said. But understand, being a good leader isn't telling someone what to do because you have the authority to do so, right? Leadership isn't about just saying, hey, you go do this and telling people what to do. Leadership is simply being able to make everyone around you better, the situations better, predicament, whatever arise in the dynamic of the relationship. You know how to make it better. You know how to communicate. You teaching everyone how to communicate properly, and nothing goes uncommunicated. And how can a woman make a man better, right? And how can a man make a woman better? Both, it goes both ways. And that's how humans, we should look at relationships. How can she make me better? And she should be saying, how can I make her better? And a woman will only respect a man if a man makes her respect him. Y'all understand that? You ain't gaining no respect for no woman if you allow her to get away with the smallest things. You understand? That's what communication and leadership come in at. It don't have to be screaming and rah rah rah. You just have to understand. No, you not posting on the gram like that, or no, you're not wearing that type of outfit outside. Like, even if you're attempting to, that shows me your mentality. So I have to note that in my head. And if you're not noting that and making this aware, making everybody aware of this, you and her, that's a sign of disrespect. You're gonna continue to be disrespect, and you allow that woman to get away with certain things, continue to certain things, then cheating come around. Then what do? Then when a woman cheats, that respect is pretty much gone. And no, that respect will no longer exist. Of course, there are certain situations where a man and a woman stepped out on each other and worked it out and restored all respect. But that's like probably like 1% of chance of that happening. You know, once the cheating happened, all lines are broken. Now, obviously, we know, and men are biased. When you're a leader and you hold it down for the family, I guess men get away with cheating more than women. Yeah, we get away. I didn't never really learn how to be faithful to nowadays. You know what I mean? I just never knew what that was. I always had 2 and 3 girlfriends. That's just how I went, man. You know what I mean? That's just how I went. But that ain't what's up. You know what I mean? And a woman will understand if a man won't tolerate no bullshit, right? A woman will understand if a man doesn't tolerate no bullshit. She will see it in your character or in our character, how we communicate, how we handle situations and adversity, things that arise. Whenever we going outside and you going to restaurants and so on and so forth, and the things you tell your mate you expect from them, they will know if or if not you will tolerate bullshit. And that's what you have to understand as a leader. You have to not, your woman has to understand you ain't with the bullshit. I'm not gonna have a woman representing my name or saying she's the mother of my children and she on some BS. I can't have that. Now, how do we learn to trust a woman? You know, how do we learn to trust a woman to lock her down and a woman that's gonna have to represent our name? Because we don't want a woman out there that's embarrassing us representing our name. That's the worst feeling in the world, right? If my wife going around here and her last name is she Geneva Samuel, her last name, she around here in this club, that club, on the gram, you know, Snapchat, TikTok, OnlyFans, doing whatever. That's embarrassing. And if I allow that or any inclination of that I would allow that, why wouldn't she not do it? If that's what she want to do, why wouldn't she not do that? But if she understand I'm not tolerating that, and if I seen that happen one time, it will be over with. You see, there's no thought of doing that because her relationship is more important. You understand? It's like a psychological type of thing, you know. But communicating is one of the most important things in relationship. Everything can be communicated. There shouldn't be nothing that goes on within a household that hasn't been talked about. Who buys the groceries? Who cooks at night? Who takes the kids to school? Um, who cleans up what day? What bill is being paid? What time you got to come in at night? How much you like to go out? Who are your friends? No, you're not allowed to hang with that person. Every single thing is communicatable and should be communicated. That's my philosophy. And sometimes you run across people that don't know how to communicate. And that's another part of being a leader. You have to teach your kids, your family, your significant other how to communicate as a leader. And if you want to be a good leader, you better know how to communicate. I mean, as a coach, me coaching kids and track, football, whatever I'm doing, the, the first thing I learned is people don't really know how to listen. And they don't care to listen. They just want to talk. Talk, talk, talk. And that's the people you got to watch out for, those talkers. Watch out for the people that just want to talk, talk, talk. They typically never hear anything or don't want to really listen. And you got to understand if a man wants a woman to fully submit to us, we got to have our shit together financially because it's hard for a woman to go out here and take care of kids, work a 9 to 5, come home and supposed to be submit to a man, cooking, cleaning, sex, and all that good stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it could be done. I'm sure it's been done before, but I'm sure it's stressful and a lot of complaining and things that's being done that really don't want to be done because it's forced and there's no happiness. So communicate all these things. All right. And if a man wants a woman to submit, man, you gotta be a provider. You gotta provide something. Other than that, the woman knows she gotta go out there and provide for herself. And providing it just not financially. Well, yeah, financially. It doesn't mean 100% of everything. I guess that's what I mean. And then you had a woman that can fake the shit out of a relationship for years, and then Whenever they feel like it, flip the script. I was just at a party and I knew a woman was married to a football player and made it look good, so good. She made it look good for years. Then he was done and he's the regular coach and she like, no, 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 I'm done with you. Flip the script on him. And just out here single. It's like they was thirsty, these girls thirsty to be single and you have a happy home. Some people are so confused and you can find out how confused a woman is just by communicating with them. That's what I'm telling you. Communicating takes care so much. And that's my number one thing to do is to communicate, right? Now, um, where I'm at. Yeah. Yeah, a woman could trick the shit out of you, man. Be careful, man. A woman can trick the shit out of you. So you have to know how to analyze that. Now, when a woman wants to move on because she is confused and think the grass is green on the other side, I don't know how you deal with that. You gotta let them go see. Or, sometimes a woman been with a man so long they feel entitled and you know, think the things that were good in the past aren't good no more. So they feel like they need more and they want more. So they look at you different now because you know, you just providing how you used to provide. You got to watch out for these different tricks of the trade that these different women may play. You know what I mean? Now, as a good leader, man, you're gonna know how to rationalize and weave through these difficult times and situations. That's what it's all about being a leader. Never has to be rah rah rah. But also, a woman loves a man, and a man gonna do man things. A man always had to be man. Yeah, a woman don't love these little soft, soft. Can't be a soft man. And I once had a debate with a homie about men and women leadership, and I posed the question to him. Right, I posed the question to him because this is how men and this is how we think out here. And I posed the question to him, and this question was, if him and his significant other were lost in the woods, and she, totally lost. They have no direction of where to go. It's black and they lost. But she had an inclination of which way to go. But in your mind or his mind, he knows the way to go. But she has an inclination, And I asked him, would you follow her if she had an inclination? Or must it go your way and follow you? Oh no, I ain't following her. I gotta go my way. And I'm like, see, that's not what leadership about. Because I'm an ultimate leader myself. And if I'm in the woods with my wife and she picked the direction, I'm probably not gonna even question it. I'm probably gonna follow her lead and, help, through that situation. Like, okay, baby, yeah, I see that. I remember that landmark, but that's what leadership is about. You understand? It's not about just because you have the title as a leader, you make all the decisions. I know who around me who can help make the best decisions in different situations. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, that's one scenario right there. If my woman has a better sense of direction than me, and typically it is, I'm gonna go with my woman. You know, and here's the ultimate part of relationships, and this go for women and men, right? Here's the ultimate part of relationships. This is what's tearing us up right here. Everybody has too many standards. Everybody has too many standards, and the standards are causing everybody to be out here single, old and single. You don't want to be old and single for the rest of your life. People forget about what the goal is. The goal is to be happy. Be happy with somebody. Yeah, y'all run it up, get rich together, whatever. But you got to be happy and know how to be happy. And I learned standards will make you miss out on what may be meant for you. Because I always had my standard. And my standard, it was like one thing I really stood on. And my standard was I would never meet a woman in the club and wife them up. That was my thing. I would not meet women in the club because think women in the club are nothing but, you know, they off the chain. But guess what? Guess where I met my wife? I met my wife at the club called Iguanas, right around the corner. And that was one of the best nights of my life. Thank God I went to that club because, you know, she is a very important person in my life. And she's probably the closest person to my mother in the world that's available. And I so happen to find that woman at the club. And that is very important to me. So the standards, man, the standards take us out. And all you see is the woman with, oh, I gotta have a man 6'2". He gotta have a business. All this craziness, man. These women, it gets worse and worse and worse out here. So if you leaders, us men, we step up and do better and better, you can change these thought process of these women and get them back on track. And us too, man. We gotta stop, you know, having so much expectations for everything. You get with somebody and you work on growing together. That's basically it. You know what I mean? Hell, who you gonna go through hell with? That's what life is. That's what they call it. Who you gonna go through this life of hell with? Because you're gonna go through hell. Chat, what it do? Let's talk to the chat. Yes, sir. Prime Sports Media, what's happening, man? Peace, love, yes, sir. Black Connection. Well, yeah, you were a star athlete your whole life. What are you talking about? What you talking about? Appointment 850. Do you have a great relationship with your kids? Absolutely. With the kids that want to have a relationship. You know, and that's another important point to appointment 850. Listen, man, despite what you may have heard or see or think, listen, I paid child support for 20 plus years for all my kids. I provided nothing but the best for my kids. I had a great relationship with my kids while they were young, did everything for them. When the mothers and you have these, you know, evil people that want to control people, there's nothing you can do. You understand? Right now, my daughter's in college, struggling, and don't want to talk to me because her mother has her in some mental or brainwashing going on that is crazy. She used to live with me before she went to college. And I texted the other day, how you doing? Check up on her during the hurricane. No, won't call back. Won't text me back. But I have to take care of you and provide and do all these great things for these kids. None of it is my fault. Anything you see with my son has nothing to do with me. That's their own mental issues they're dealing with. And you go see the kids that with me, the kids living in the house. You see my daughter taking all these visits, going to college on a full ride scholarship. I tried to provide that for all my kids. Now they have to pay for school. They have to go fend for themselves because they wanted to choose the path of their mama and listen to their mama and dog their daddy out. Now my son going through situations. Y'all will find out. Y'all are here, but that's him. He want to dog his daddy out. He don't want to talk to his daddy. So hey, you know, life is life, and you got to deal with how life comes. I deal with everything that hit me, and you know, got to keep moving, man. Got to keep moving. So salute to appointment 850, man. Got a great relationship. I had a great relationship with all my kids at one point in life, but the ones that matter, you know, they're around. That's all that matter. If you don't care about me, how am I supposed to care about you? I don't understand. You know, we're all adults now. Say what needs to be said. It's Mr. Pick Six, where we say ooh, what we say what needs to be said so you can say what needs to be said. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, that was a quick wisdom piece on relationships and leadership and how to treat your family and things like that. And maybe I'll touch on the kids and how you raise your kids and and the options you give them in the next clip tomorrow, probably tomorrow or something, man. We'll see how tomorrow goes. Sunday night football, Sunday football. Salute to the chat, man. Y'all was out here tonight. Colorado football, man, they looking good. The next game, who they got? Cincinnati or somebody. I don't know who's left to really challenge them that much. Um, but yeah, they're looking good. Can they make the playoffs? That's a stretch. That's a stretch. But right now we're rooting for Colorado, Coach Prime. Shiloh Sanders had to do his press conference. He bounced back. You know what I mean? After giving him that work, you know what I mean? Good thing to get back out there. You need that bounce back game. So uh, shout out to Shiloh Sanders, man. That's definitely a bounce back game for you. You don't understand, man. It's like getting embarrassed like that, and then all you can do is just sit back and hear all the negative comments and social media posts about every play, how horrible you look, and finally to get back at the long 7 days and try to redeem yourself. That's very important, man, for an athlete. Y'all don't know, man. That is very important. Like if y'all didn't see him talking in the press conference with his dad, he was calling his daddy every day because he was anxious and it bothered him. So he wanted to he wanted to hurry up and get to game day so he can get that feeling off him. But yeah, man, they looked great today. Shiloh Sanders, man. Y'all still ain't answered my question about what y'all think. Is Shiloh Sanders a better quarterback without the focus of Travis Hunter in the offense? And we got two games. We got 2 games of homework we can do to evaluate that and come to a conclusion. And my evaluation already tells me that Shedeur's IQ is better when he uses his IQ more when Travis Hunter's not there. So, like I say what needs to be said. Well, we say what needs to be said, so you can say what needs to be said. Make sure y'all spreading the word, y'all like, comment, and share, man. Listen, my goal is, man, we want to run up, we want to get to 20,000 subscribers. Y'all help your boy out. 20,000 subscribers by the end of the season, all right? So right now we on our way to 10, and then we got to make it to 20. So y'all like, y'all keep coming, y'all keep supporting, y'all share, man. Y'all make sure y'all let them know that this ain't the regular media. I'm a professional shit talker. You know what I mean? I'm not a journalist. You know what I mean? Just a professional shit talker that knows football. I know life, and I got great common sense. I don't get led by science and all that stuff. I get led by common sense and the good Lord. Say what needs to be said, Mr. Pick Six. I'm out.